Hello and welcome to the Cardboard Dungeons review of the TIE Silencer expansion for X-Wing. My name is Pat, and I am looking at one of my most anticipated ships for X-Wing in a long, long while. One of my favorite ships in the whole game to pilot is the TIE Interceptor. It's been that way since I started playing the game. I love flying the Interceptor, and this thing is a super TIE Interceptor. I mean, just look at it. It's twice as long as a regular TIE Interceptor. It's clearly based on the TIE Interceptor. It's also got some TIE Advanced influence there, especially as we get into the stats and everything for this ship. It is obviously the technologically superior evolution of the TIE Interceptor and the TIE Advanced for the First Order in the new Star Wars movies. Very cool ship. I love the way this thing looks. It is absolutely massive. Check it out next to the U-Wing, which is a large ship, the smallest of the large ships, admittedly, but the TIE Silencer is really only a couple of centimeters shorter than the U-Wing. It does come packed in a box like a large ship because it is so big, but it's definitely a small base ship, and that's the way you want it because it does play the arc dodger role. All right, so let's take a look at the maneuver dial. I would consider this to be one of the best maneuver dials in the game now. Pretty similar to TIE Interceptor, but objectively better. More green on the dial. It's got every single normal maneuver in the game except the Speed 1 straight and banks. Every Speed 2 maneuver is green. The Speed 3 straight and banks are green. And the Speed 4 and 5 straights are green. That's a ton of green. It's lit up, this dial, with green. And then for turnaround maneuvers, you've got the K-turn at speed 4, and then you've got Talon rolls at speed 3. Not many ways this could be a better maneuver dial. Now on to the stat line. We have 3 attack, 3 agility, 4 hull, and 2 shields. So twice the health of the TIE Interceptor. This thing can take a couple of hits and keep coming, and the shields, of course, are going to keep critical hits at bay for a little bit at least. On the action bar, we've got focus, target lock, barrel roll, and boost. Notably absent for a arc dodger is the evade action. And I think that the designers probably had to make the decision not to include it because then they would just be creating a super version of Soontir Fel, a ship that can token up, get evade and focus, stay out of firing arcs, and then when your opponent does have a shot on it, it's just incredibly difficult to put damage on. Now, clearly, everything we know about this ship, everything we've seen on the maneuver dial, the fact that it is based on the TIE Interceptor, the movie trailer that we've seen, you've probably seen at least, it shows it as just an incredibly agile and fast ship. It absolutely should have the evade action. So it is totally a gameplay consideration that it's not available to this ship, and I think that's probably the right decision. As much as I'd like to have it, as much fun as a pilot like Soontir Fel is, who can just stack focus, evade every round, auto thrusters on him, and of course this ship can take auto thrusters as well. He's got native boost on the action bar. Just super difficult to hit, but of course if you hit Soontir Fel with only 3 hull, he's probably just dead. So this ship with double that health, they probably just could not take the risk of creating an impenetrable arc dodger that's just incredibly difficult to land any kind of damage on. So you are taking a risk. It is going to be a little bit easier for this ship to take damage than some of the other arc dodgers in the game. However, there are still ways to get evade tokens if you really want to, but you're going to have to sacrifice something else. For example, you could put the intensity elite upgrade on the pilots who can take it, which is most of them for this ship, but then you'd be giving up push the limit or veteran instincts or other probably better elite upgrades. So there are some ways to do it if you really want evade tokens. We're going to see a new upgrade in this expansion that works around giving you evade tokens as well. Still, an excellent action bar. Lots of options there, especially those repositioning with the barrel roll and boost, very important. On the upgrade bar, every TIE Silencer can take a system and a tech upgrade, 2 of the best upgrade types in the game. There's a ton of combo options between these two. And of course, that system slot means that advanced sensors is an option, and that is crazy good on this ship. There's probably not a better system slot for it because with boost and barrel roll, What that means is that you will be able to reposition your ship before you make your maneuver, making it incredibly difficult to pin a TIE silencer down, to hit it with bombs, anything. It can just get out of the way. Boost away, barrel roll away, get that reposition, and with a high pilot skill, you can see where many of your opponent's ships have gone before you do that and just get into an advantageous position. It's super, super good. So, all right, let's move on to the pilots. Top pilot for the TIE silencer, of course, no surprise, Kylo Ren. We've seen him before as a pilot on the Upsilon. He has a pilot skill of 9 here, where he had a 6 before, so he's gotten better, or he's just more comfortable and competent at the controls of his TIE silencer. 35 points for Mr. Ren, and he can take an elite upgrade. He has the same pilot skill we saw before, which I spoke at length about on my review of the Upsilon shuttle. When he is hit with an attack, he can assign the "I'll show you the dark side" condition to the attacker. Now, I talked at length about this in the Upsilon review. I'm not going to spend quite as much time on it here. Basically, this lets you go through your opponent's damage deck, pick out a card with the pilot trait, put it on the condition, and then if that ship suffers critical damage, instead of taking that damage normally, you can give it the damage card that you picked out. Lets you slip it past shields if the damage would have hit shields. Instead, you get dealt the face-up card. And it's a really good way to reduce a pilot skill to 0 or force an enemy ship to not take its next attack opportunity. However, in order to trigger this condition and Kylo Ren's ability, you have to take damage, which is bad. Also, if another ship does damage to you, the condition will migrate over onto that ship with the damage card that you chose, so you don't really have any control at all over which ship has it. And all you can do is try to put a critical hit through to that ship to put the damage card on it. Now, as I said in the Upsilon review, the crew version of Kylo Ren, which comes with that ship, is the much better delivery system for this condition, because it just takes an action and you put it on any ship out to range 3 of whatever ship Kylo's on. Now, of course, you can't have Kylo Ren piloting a TIE silencer in the same squadron as Kylo Ren as a crew on a ship, so you'll have to make a decision as to which version to take. But if you are looking to try to get that condition onto enemy ships, the crew version is objectively superior. Now, moving on, next pilot, Test Pilot Blackout. Pilot skill of 7, costs 31 points. When attacking, if the attack is obstructed, the defender rolls 2 fewer defense dice to a minimum of 0. This seems pretty good, but you got to remember, obstructed attacks give the defender +1 defense dice, so really, this is a net of -1 defense dice on the defender. And you also have to do a little bit of work to set it up. You have to put an obstacle between your ship and the enemy ship, which can be a little difficult to do. Not too bad with the TIE silencer because it can barrel roll. And with advanced sensors, you can barrel roll right in front of an asteroid, for example, and then as long as you're not stressed before your next maneuver, you can barrel roll back out of the way. So you can get around pretty easily. I do wonder, though, how many times during a match you'll really be able to set up an obstructed shot to take advantage of this. It is worth noting, though, Blackout can take an elite upgrade and is 4 points less expensive than Kylo Ren, and his pilot skill is only 2 less at 7, so you can easily bring him up to a 9 with veteran instincts and have some points to work with in your build over Kylo Ren. So I think this is a good pilot. The pilot skill, the pilot ability rather, not super great. I think it's useful if you can make use of it. However, might be worth taking just to get Kylo Ren crew version into your squadron and have a TIE silencer along for the ride as well. First non-unique pilot, the First Order Test Pilot, pilot skill of 6, 29 points, and this guy can take an elite upgrade as well. Finally, we've got the Sinar Jameis Analyst, 4 pilot skill, 26 points, 1 point more than what you would need to put 4 of them in a squadron. So I think that was probably a good decision. Probably best that 4 TIE silencer squads are not a thing that's going to happen. All right, let's move on to the upgrades. There's a pretty fat stack of upgrades in this expansion, starting with a brand new elite upgrade. You get 2 copies of Debris Gambit. Costs 2 points. It is small ship only. It says, as an action, you can assign 1 evade token to your ship for each obstacle at range 1 to a maximum of 2 evade tokens. So here's a way you can get evade tokens onto a TIE silencer, but it does take your elite slot, which, I mean, if this was a tech upgrade or a system, you might have a case. But it does require that you're going to fly close to obstacles, which is risky unless you're really good at piloting the ship, which then is okay. And with the maneuver dial we saw on this ship, it's really probably not too difficult to just fly circles around asteroids and other obstacles. But it does cost an action, and I think that the combination of this being an elite upgrade and using an action just pushes it right off the table. It's interesting. Maybe there's some case to be made for it on some ship in the game, but I don't think that the TIE silencer is necessarily gonna do it. Now you could put it on a youngster, the TIE fighter, and then give all the other TIEs in his swarm this ability, and that might be okay. But again, the TIE fighters have the evade action, so they can just get an evade token whenever they want, and I wonder how often during a match you'll really have a ship at range 1 of 2 different obstacles in order to be able to stack 2 evade tokens. I'm guessing it's probably not going to happen super often. Okay, moving on, we've got Sensor Jammer. This is not a new upgrade, it's a system upgrade, 4 points. We've seen it before. The Lambda class shuttle and the U-Wing both had this. When defending, you may change one of the attacker's hit results to a focus result. The attacker cannot re-roll the die with the changed result. It's a good upgrade, and it's really good, especially if you have a way to strip focus tokens off of attackers so that they can't modify that change die back into a hit, which is something that an upgrade like Hotshot Copilot can help you with. So if you are worried about your TIE silencer taking damage, which you should be, because as I said, it's easier to hit than other Arc Dodgers, this might be a decent upgrade. However, it does take the system slot, and I think that Advanced Sensors needs to be an auto-include, most likely, in any TIE silencer that you're building out. I could be wrong about that, but I don't see another system that I like as much. All right, next up we have 2 copies of a brand new tech upgrade, Advanced Optics, costing 2 points. And this is basically the focus version of Comm Relay. We've seen that before. This says you cannot have more than 1 focus token. During the end phase, do not remove an unused focus token from your ship. So it's a way to carry focus from round to round. Poe Dameron loves this upgrade. I don't know why there's not just a picture of his X-Wing on this card, because he is the pilot that most benefits from it. However, in order to generate maximum hits from your attacks, having a way to carry focus from round to round and then use target lock before attacking is good on a lot of ships. And this is really not a terrible tech upgrade for the TIE silencer, although I think the next one we're going to look at is probably going to be the upgrade of choice for that tech slot. We've seen prime thrusters before in the Heroes of the Resistance expansion. This is a 1-point tech upgrade, small ship only. Stress tokens do not prevent you from performing boost or barrel roll actions unless you have 3 or more. It's a fantastic ability, and especially with advanced sensors, that combination is just amazing, because even if you are stressed and couldn't clear it, you can still use the reposition before your maneuver to just get wherever you want to go. So I think this is probably very likely the top tech upgrade for the TIE silencer currently in the game. And next we've got another brand new tech upgrade. This is Threat Tracker, 3 points, small ship only. When an enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1 or 2 becomes the active ship during the combat phase, you may spend your target lock on that ship to perform a free boost or barrel roll action if that action is on your action bar. Whew, man, that's a lot of words on that card. Basically what it means is when an enemy ship becomes the attacker or has a chance to attack, if you have boost or barrel roll and a target lock on that ship, you can use one of those actions, potentially get out of its line of fire. 3 points, I think, seems a little expensive, and you have to have boost or barrel roll to be able to use it, and also a target lock on that particular ship, and you have to spend the target lock, so then you're not going to be able to use it during your attack. I don't know. I don't think this is great. Moving on. Next, we've got 2 copies, and this has been a long time coming. Auto Thrusters is back, finally. Currently in the game, before this wave, the only way to get Auto Thrusters was the Star Viper expansion from way back in Wave 6. And there have been so many ships that can benefit from Auto Thrusters since then. And the TIE Silencer, of course, benefits hugely. This should be an auto include as well for your modification slot. But it is about time. It is finally another way in the game to get Auto Thrusters. 2-point modification. When defending, if you are inside the attacker's firing arc beyond range 2 or outside the attacker's firing arc, you may change one of your blank results to an evade result. You can equip this card only if you have the boost icon on your action bar. Okay, so a necessary card for arc dodgers, especially with the turret-heavy game of X-Wing that we currently have. Being able to convert a blank into an evade on defense dice is hugely useful, cannot be overstated. You want this on your TIE Silencer build. It gives it greater survivability. It's a fantastic card, and I'm just super happy that we finally have another way to get it in the game. Okay, last upgrade is the title. TIE Silencer only, of course. First Order Vanguard. It is a unique title, so even if you have 2 or 3 TIE Silencers in your squadron, only one can have this title. 2 points. When attacking, if the defender is the only ship in your firing arc at range 1 to 3, you may re-roll 1 attack die. Also, when defending, you may discard this card to re-roll all of your defense dice. So this title gives you 2 abilities, one on offense and one on defense. The offensive ability is basically sort of having a version of Predator, or Lone Wolf almost, or a half target lock kind of ability. You just always get a reroll as long as whoever you're attacking is the only ship that you could make an attack against. Okay, so that's good. Rerolls are always good, and having a way to do it without using a target lock action, even better. And then it has a last ditch sort of ability, so if you're gonna take damage after rolling your defense dice and you don't want to, you can ditch the card and just reroll all of them. So super good title. 2 points, a little bit expensive for a title, but this is very, very close to being an auto include on your TIE Silencer. There's just no downside to this title, and it is super useful. And that is the TIE Silencer expansion for X-Wing. What do I think about this ship? I really, really like it. I think it's going to be difficult to fly well. I think that it has enough of a weakness in the inability to take an evade action and the relatively low health and high cost. I mean, it's not an exaggeration to say that putting Kylo Ren on the board is going to be a minimum, if you want to be reasonably competent, a minimum 40, 42 points, and probably he's going to get up to 45, 46, which is super expensive for a ship like this. But there's an upside to that too, if you can fly it really well, having a lot of points invested in a single ship that your enemy can't catch might not be a bad thing. If the game has to go to the time limit, then you want a ship that is worth more points than whatever your enemy has left on the board. So very cool ship. I'm really looking forward to getting this on the table. It's another Imperial ace, but the most expensive ace that we've seen. It's going to make list building around this ship fairly difficult because you'll probably have to cut corners on whatever else you include in order to get the best possible TIE silencer into your squadron, or be creative and take advantage of it. But it's going to be real interesting to see, I think, what people come up with around the TIE silencer. Okay, as always, thank you for watching the Cardboard Dungeon, and I'll see you next time.